All right, welcome everybody. We'll get started in a minute or so. We're just gonna wait for some more people to hop on, but thank you for joining. Okay, it's noon and I'm going to get started. Again, thank you so much for joining. You are at the Pyra member orientation. So you may be new to Pyra, you may be a current member and just want a refresher, or you might have been a member a long time ago and you're like, what's going on with Pyra? I want to figure this out. So welcome. My name, which is on my screen here, is Liliana Aguero, and I am the membership director, and I'll spend a little bit more time introducing myself in a moment. Here's today's agenda. I got 45 minutes with you, and I do want to honor our time. I'll warn you in advance, I go a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to do my best to stick to our time together. But this is about you. So I'm in the welcome stage. I'm going to give you a general update on Pyra, given the pandemic, gosh, almost 2 years later, want you to know what we're up to. We're going to do a poll because, as I said, this is about you. So I want to find out what is the information you want to walk away with after you finish this 45-minute webinar. Also, I'm going to introduce my wonderful Pyra membership team and our special guest, which I think you can see his wonderful face, Michael Souza. So he'll have a moment to introduce himself. And then we'll go through a Pyra overview. Depending on what information you want, I might speed through that. And we'll talk about member benefits and what are the benefits that you should probably check out immediately, our professional development and the networking. I know a lot of you guys want to be networking with the largest local HR community in the United States, and I even think the world. That's us. And then we'll just wrap it up with any extra questions and things like that. Just know, I like to make this very interactive. So send us chat, send us questions in the Q&A box. I got Elise Sept here, who I'll introduce in a moment. She's my right hand at Pyra. She's going to be interacting with the chat and bringing up some questions to us so we can answer them live. Yeah, I want to focus on you, and I want you to get everything you need out of your Pyra membership. So let's keep going. I see there's some things in the chat. Oh, great. You guys are sharing your LinkedIn. Wonderful. The networking has started. So please interact with the people that are on this webinar. I'm not sure if you're able to see everybody else. Actually, I always forget that, but we're going to move to a different sort of platform so that you guys can interact with each other, but put in your LinkedIn and hopefully someone else will catch up. So as for a general update, we've been in this pandemic since March 2020, and since the beginning at Pyra, your health and safety has been our top priority and our main concern. We are following the local, state, federal, and I just changed that, global guidelines for the pandemic as much as possible. We've gone virtual So our conference, the California HR conference in 2020 was virtual. We did it in May 2021. It was virtual and not as excellent as our 3-day in-person, but pretty good. We've had 11 learning tracks. Gosh, I think virtually we had at least 18 learning sessions. In person, we have 80 learning sessions. So a little bit different, but always excellent. And we're currently in the process of planning our reopening. So a lot of our chapters, and Michael, he's our Pyra Regional Representative for the Eastern region. That's a long title, Michael.
Long one. Long one.
You know, he could tell you a little bit about the reopening plans that his chapters are taking planning, and you know, I'll share with you about some of the other chapters that are doing some socials right now. A lot of our chapters are doing socials, and we are planning a hybrid event in October, which I'll tell you about as well.
Yep.
So just keep visiting the Phr calendar, because we have, like I said, we've gone virtual. We have a lot of learning that's online. Our chapters are doing a Zoom chat. I know you guys are tired of Zoom, but if the alternative is doing nothing, do Zoom. You know, meet people via Zoom. A lot of our HR practitioners and early entrants are on there talking about real issues. And I know Michael's going to share some of the things that his chapter is doing based on like COVID and how to deal with it. And he's in the Coachella Valley, where the hospitality has been, that industry has been really
hit hard.
Yeah. So before I go on, oh great, hi Darlene, thanks for saying hello. Let's connect. Andrea, thank you for saying hello. Yesenia, welcome. All right, so now we're going to go to our poll. If I could switch over. So Elisette, who I'm going to introduce you, I promise. She's just put out a poll because I want to find out from you, what do you want out of the next 45 minutes? What do you want to know? Do you want to know about networking opportunities, PIHRA chapters, our monthly meetings, seminars, conferences, benefits, et cetera, et cetera? And if there's something that's not on this list that you really want me to talk about, just send me a chat and I'll do that. So let's give this another 30 seconds. Yeah, how many seconds? Yeah, 30 seconds. 10 of you have participated. So let's see if we can get at least 15 people to participate. Ooh, a lot of HR certification. I just got certified, so all right. Seminars and conferences, meetings, networking. All right. Give it a couple minutes, Elisette, and HR certification and seminars is the two top ones. So why don't you end the poll, Elisette, and we'll share those results. All right, good to see. So if there's anything specific regarding HR certification, let me know in the chat. I'll try to get to it. But if I can't get to all these questions, I'm going to follow up with you via email, or we can even schedule a time to talk via the phone so that all your questions are answered. So, all right, let's stop sharing and let's move forward. I'm going to really push through on some
power through it. We're going to power through it, Lily. We're going to power through it.
Yay. Michael's one of my favorite volunteer leaders. I'm going to talk about volunteer leaders soon.
Because I'm so quiet.
So yeah, you and me both. So my name is Lily Aguero. I'm here in the middle. If you want to know more about me, I would love to talk about myself, and hopefully in light of how it will help you. But I am really excited to be about part of the PIHRA team. I've been here since 2014. I love my team. I love my work. I love helping people excel in their career. So I am very accessible. The best way to get a hold of me is via email. I promise to get back to you within 24 hours. And because I keep on promising to have her introduce herself. Elisette Sapian is on the right. And Elisette, unmute. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Lily. Yes, I'm Elisette Sapian. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're happy to have you. Thank you for taking your some time out of your lunch. I know it's Friday. We want to get to the weekend. So just a brief overview of me. I've been with Pyra since 2016. And like Lily mentioned, we're very accessible. We're very dedicated. We're a very dedicated team, and we want to make sure that we help you in the best way possible. So we are dedicated to help you get the best out of your membership. So if you dial a main number, I may be the first person you speak to. And if you have any questions regarding any of what's going to be covered today, feel free to reach out to Lily, myself, or Michael too, and we'll be able to answer your questions. So again, thank you for joining us, and I'll pass it back to Lily.
Sept, she is going to be the first one you talk to. If you ever need anything, like you get frustrated because you can't get access to a benefit, or you forgot your password, or like, don't sit there and be frustrated. Just email us. We're kind of cool and we're fun, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So also on this page is Matt Pallets. He's not with us today, but he's a volunteer leader. And I talk about volunteer leadership a lot, right, Michael?
You do.
So he is accessible, great. He is what we call a service provider. He's on the insurance brokerage side, very knowledgeable about HR because he knows HR's pain points. And, volunteer leadership is a great benefit that we don't talk enough about. So anyway, with that, I'm going to pass this over to Michael because I know you see his gorgeous face. And so I want him to spend some time introducing himself and talking about his work and how Pyra has helped him just every which way.
Well,
so,
I think you put a really big segue in there for me, Lily, as far as volunteer benefit, volunteers were concerned. Okay. So my name is Michael Sousa. I am the Eastern Regional Representative for Pyra. I handle Coachella Valley and Temecula Valley, just so you know. What I happen to think are the best groups out there, but I'm a little selfish that way. Thank you very much. Okay. But if you are looking for a volunteer spot, as far as the board is concerned, please reach out to me and let me know. I will put my email and my contact information in the chat for you. One of the big things that I learned when I came into Pyra, when I came into Pyra, I figured my audience that I wanted to talk to were the HR directors, were the owners of businesses, based upon the product and the services that I offered to the companies. What I found was completely and totally different when I got into Pyra, which is why I'm an Eastern Regional Director now. Essentially was the support and the networking opportunities within Pyra as far as the HR directors and the owners were concerned. Because what I found is when you actually attend the events and when you actually network with one another, you're learning from each other the challenges, the obstacles, the wins that you had within your companies and how you go about doing that. Okay. Example, one of the things that I provide as far as my company is concerned is called an infinity benefit that piggybacks on employer benefit packages that gives the employees an opportunity to purchase a home. It's no cost to the employer, no cost to the employee. But what I found in talking to the HR directors is it was just beyond that. It was how can they go about helping their employees further, and they networked within each other as far as the HR directors were concerned, and they found out how they were doing that for the companies and realized that the corporate culture is actually what comes out of the HR department. Okay, and how to enhance that. So I'm talking a little much here, and I know that I have 3 minutes. I'm sure that there's a timer someplace going on there. Okay, but let me just say this: I am so proud to be the Eastern Regional Director for Pyra, and it's been such a grateful opportunity for me to work with each and every one of you. And I can only say thank you. I'm going to leave my contact information in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to join our group as far as a volunteer is concerned. If you have any more questions, I'm here for you. How's that, Lily? Was that good? Boom. Was that my 3 minutes? Was that my 3 minutes?
You went faster than I thought, Michael, because I know you like to talk as much as I do.
I do love to talk. But girlfriend, I was trying to get it in there. Trust me.
So as you know, we are a fun group, and a lot of our members come to me and say, you know why I left PIHRA? Because it's like a family. And so Michael, a great way to gain exposure and network and really get to know the HR community is to volunteer. So I think Michael, who acknowledged he is very close with the PIHRA Coachella Valley and PIHRA Temecula Valley groups. He knows about some volunteer opportunities at those chapters. So email him, find him on LinkedIn. He's a great guy. And if you ever have any questions, always feel free to contact him.
And I'm sure you'll see me out there in a sponsorship role for your groups, and reach out to me if you need sponsorships for your groups. I'm happy to help out. So that's kind of what we do. Boom, there you go.
Great. So let's talk a little bit of a PIHRA overview. I'm going to skim through this because a lot of you had questions about monthly meetings, which Michael can also talk with you about that. So what's our mission? We're here to engage, provide professional development, high impact networking to the HR professional in Southern California. And during this webinar, I'm going to talk to you about all the different ways we do that. And someone had a question about the PIHRA SHRM relationship. So we are an affiliate of SHRM, and this is where I tell everybody we are the largest SHRM affiliate in the world. I know we're the largest affiliate in the United States. I don't have the data for the world, but they don't want to tell us that, but I think we're the largest affiliate in the world. There's other affiliates in California. And so, I want you to belong to PIHRA. I am the membership director, but I want you to belong to the professional association where you feel best. So if it's not PIHRA, I apologize that we weren't for you, but I get it. Same for our chapters, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So we are affiliated with SHRM, but we're a separate entity, and we have a separate membership, and our membership is pretty robust, but I think the two together are even better. And if you have more questions about that, let me know in the chat, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Volunteer leadership. So we have volunteer leadership roles at the organizational level and at the chapter level. And I'm going to show you a map of all our chapters. So I say that because I want to introduce you to Tara Fournier. She's an SPHR, SHRM SCP, and the VP of Visio. She was promoted recently. So congrats, Tara, if you ever see this video. And she's the president of our board. So she helps govern the entire association and helping us set the strategy for that. I'm on staff, and so is Sept. So there's some differentiating factors, right? We have as a SHRM affiliate, we have the largest staff. Even after the pandemic, I think we have the largest staff because we did kind of shrink a little bit because of the pandemic, because you've heard about the Great Resignation, right? People are like leaving, reevaluating things.
Right.
So we're a little smaller, but we're just as mighty. And so Tara's a volunteer leader. Rafael here is my I'm his direct report. In other words, he's my supervisor, and he's our guru. He's the chief executive officer for PIHRA, and I really credit him for bringing on an excellent team because he brought me on, and at least that. But also just re-evaluating our conferences, and just we've evolved so much under Rafael, and we have top-notch programming because of him, and we're just we were able to hurdle through the changes that the pandemic made us face very quickly, and I really credit him. Feel free to contact him if you want his, he's on LinkedIn. If you want to tell him how great or maybe how not so great this went, please go ahead and let him know. He's great. He's a great boss, and we all look up to him. And if you're going to the California Employment Law Update, he'll be there. I'm going to pause because I see some chats and Q&As. At least anything I should pay attention to?
Yeah, we have one question in the Q&A box. What is the previous speaker from SHRM's email address and or phone number?
What is the previous speaker from SHRM? Ooh, We haven't had a SHRM speaker in a while. So Charles, please let us know exactly who you're talking about. If it's our field deputy officer, we're gonna have to get back. If you could write that down, Elisette, because that our SHRM field deputy officer or our SHRM NorCal contact is just changed. So, because they've had some employee turnover. So, but let us know exactly what you mean by your question. All right, so member demographics. Who are our members? Well, we have right around 4,300. We were at 4,500 before the pandemic, and we're gonna climb back there, I promise you. But they represent over 2,700 organizations. Someone asked about certification. 37% of our members are certified either through HRCI and SHRM. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. I just became a SHRM SCP, and boy, oh boy, I had to take a prep course. I studied over 150 hours for that exam, and I passed. And I know you guys have questions. So if you have more questions about the HR certification, please let me know specifically what those are so I can get to those. Our members by HR level, right around 26% are HR directors and above. 42% are that HR business partner, generalist, manager level. And we also have right around 5% are service providers. So we call service providers those natural partners to the HR community, like the staffing folks, insurance folks, people like Michael Souza, who have affinity programs to help your organization's employees build wealth. Please don't shy away from those individuals, because what I've learned about those individuals is it's their job to be connected with the HR community. A lot of the times, right, Michael? A lot of the times I will find out about HR jobs through the service providers, because a lot of the brokers are like, hey, I heard about an HR director job downtown LA, because that's their job. So don't be afraid of them.
It's funny you should say that. I know one that's open in Tustin right now. So it's funny you should say that.
Yeah, no, I know. So don't shy away from the service providers. A lot of our service providers, they know it's about building relationships. So they're not going to sell you. I mean, they might invite you to coffee or to lunch, but it's really about building relationships. And that's why people like Michael, they take on volunteer leadership roles, so they could just be out there and you could get to know them. Because really in this, and I encourage you, even if you're an HR practitioner, early entrant into HR, or a service provider. Regardless of where you are, volunteering is the best way to become visible in the HR community. It is my philosophy that it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So if you're looking right? So if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for clients, people may not immediately say, I wonder about this person. But if they see your work ethic, the quality of your work, that you show up and that you're willing to learn and be open, the next time they hear about a position, or the next time there's an opportunity at their organization to bring someone in, guess who they're going to think about?
They're going to think about you.
They're going to think about you. I did spend a little bit too much time on this slide, but I thought it was important. So, but let us know if you have any questions. Should I pause for a second, Elisette, for this Q&A? Let's see.
Yeah, Charles was just following up on his question. He's referring to the individual that covers Coachella Valley and Temecula Valley.
Oh, that's Michael.
That's me.
Michael. Yeah. So, why don't you guys trade? Yeah.
I'll type it in there.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in finding out from Michael, get his, email address. I don't know if you want me to give him your cell phone, Michael. But
sure, I don't mind. That's okay.
He's the person to talk to, because he's seen it all. It's busy right now for you, I know, Michael. But
it's like, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. How's that?
Yeah. Okay, so as he's connecting with you, I'm so glad Michael's able to connect with you to share his wisdom and how he's been navigating PIHRA and sponsoring PIHRA, because I know you do that a lot, and that's a great opportunity. I want to talk about this map. So we have 17 chapters and 4 communities. Each of our communities So how much is that? That's like 21 communities. They have their own board. So there are volunteer opportunities at all of these different boards. So our largest community is South OC. Michael, you're going to go hang out with PIHRA South OC soon, right?
I am.
So they are doing a in-person event at the end of September at Hangar 24. It's buy your own drink. So it's free. We do want you to register for that. So just go on the calendar. I'll show you later. But you at PIHRA OC, they have, gosh, I think at one point that's over 700 members right now. Because of the pandemic, we've constricted. They have right around 550. If you want to meet a lot of people, go to PIHRA South OC. Our second largest is PIHRA Los Angeles. They meet out of downtown LA. Again, they're just starting to have in-person meetings. They have a mixer coming up that is limited capacity. I think it's next week at the Arts Brewery. So if you want to just go out there and mingle, I promise you should do that. I know I'm talking a lot and I'm sounding like, oh, I have such a fun time, but I'm a little bit self-conscious about going to meetings. And so just force yourself, when the Zoom meeting or a webinar or one of these in-person meetings, set a goal for yourself to do one a quarter at the very least.
Agree.
To stay connected, right? Michael, do you want to talk a little bit about the, I know you may not have anything coming up, but you've had some in-person events, right? This summer?
So what has transpired here recently for at least Coachella Valley and Temecula Valley, Lily, was this, obviously we're all kind of transitioning in COVID and figuring out what we're going to do. We're going to do it in person, out of person, all of that good stuff. So what we did for Coachella Valley was we actually took a survey. Okay, we did a monkey survey and said, okay, how many of you want to go in person and how many of you don't want to? And it literally came back 50-50. It literally came back 50-50. So what we did was we did both. We did a Zoom and we did an in-person event for Coachella Valley, which turned out really successful for everybody and it was comfortable for everybody, okay? Now what's happening in Coachella Valley, which is transpiring through the rest of the state, is you have to show your vaccine card if you're going to go, any place live, if you're going to do it to a restaurant. My recommendations for individuals or for groups that are going to go live, start talking to your restaurants or your facilities to make sure that there's availability, number one, and that they can actually service you, okay? That's the big obstacle that we had in kind of getting everybody out and together. But yeah. Yeah,
it's getting interesting. So under normal circumstances, everybody, our chapters would meet once a month. Correct. These are not normal circumstances. So they are doing webinars as many, at least once a quarter. They're doing chats at least once a quarter. We have 24 communities. So there's always something to do virtually.
We're doing a combo of both now. We're doing live and Zoom. So it's interesting. Yeah, we're not under normal circumstances anymore. This is normal.
And times have changed. I think now we're using technology for networking and professional development. So I don't know if we're going to go back to each of our communities having monthly meetings in 2022 or even 2023, but please set a goal for yourself to attend an in-person social, to attend a virtual webinar. So that's what's happening with our monthly meetings. But what I do want to highlight is that our professional development and our networking events are affordable and accessible and impactful. So
it is the most inexpensive education you're going to get as far as HR is concerned. Okay. And quite frankly, and honestly, your membership is what you make it. Okay. Because if you look at the calendar of events, as far as PIHRA is concerned, there is a lot of information there, and take advantage of the Zoom opportunities to go to the different chapters and what they're having to offer on their subject matter, because it's really good right now.
Yeah. And with LA traffic and Southern California traffic, I love it. I mean, I don't have a problem with going to a Zoom meeting. It's
Right.
so convenient. Anyway, that's what we wanted to talk about with monthly meetings. If you have any other specific questions, let us know and we'll answer it. We also have the Pyra Foundation. That's one of our communities. They are a separate 501c3 and they offer scholarship money. And they have 2 scholarship windows. One, and you know about, you are connected with the foundation, Michael. So
Yeah.
they have one scholarship window in the spring, and they have another one that's opening up most likely in October. They also have their own board and probably have some positions. So if you're interested in that, just visit pyhra.org/foundation. You know, things have changed. So they used to do a silent auction at our annual conference. They'll probably go with something virtual in the future, but I'm sure they'd love, if you guys are interested in volunteering, that's a great group to volunteer
It
with.
is.
Anything you want to add there, Michael?
No, you know, they actually are a dire need kind of a volunteer, Lily, because, you know, whether it's, you know, sometimes situations have sad news and sometimes there's opportunities for that to grow and move on. We have had some individuals that were key individuals that have transitioned in life. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, and now we're looking to replace those individuals whose shoes are going to be very difficult to fill. So if you are looking for a really good, meaningful spot, the foundation is one of them, especially with these scholarships.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pyra, they're another community during the pandemic, another tough year for them, but they're the fun side of HR. Basically, they cater to the HR professional that is responsible for the annual Christmas party, the summer picnic, employee recognition. So they used to do great quarterly events. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but at our monthly meetings and during our community meetings, you get professional development and you get recertification credit for your HRCI and SHRM certification. So for example, Club Pyra used to do these events at Knott's Berry Farm and Magic Mountain. They would have a vendor fair so you could meet different venues, different event solutions folks. Then they'll do a professional development component. They'll have a meal. And for Club Pyra, if they have it at Magic Mountain, you can then go into the park and with your family. And it's very affordable. I think one was only like $35 for members, and it included going into the park for the rest of the day. So I don't know when that'll start again, just because the pandemic is here, something called the pandemic, and COVID-19 is existing, but a great group to be affiliated with. Emerging leaders, I am so proud of this group. And I'll tell you why in a second, but they basically exist to engage, equip, and encourage people that are emerging leaders in the HR community. So students in HR, folks that are just wanting to get into HR or that are transitioning mid-career into HR. They have their own committee and also looking for volunteers, and we can connect you with them. They'll do virtual chats. I went to their last one. It was great. It was how to set boundaries in the workplace. It was fantastic because I think now we're much more open to talking about setting personal, professional boundaries and what that looks like. So, you know, these chats, a lot of them are free. So if you're not attending them, please attend them soon. I'm going to get through these member benefits because not too many people asked about this, but with your $150 membership, and we do have deals from time to time on the membership price, but that's also a great deal for a yearly membership. You get at least, I think I quantified it to $4,700 worth of value every year. One of the main things is, you know, this is where you're going to build your HR board of advisors. So you've heard of a board of directors for an organization. Well, you as a person should have your own board of advisors, people you can go to. Say, for example, you're going through a sexual harassment litigation at work and you've never had to do that before. I bet you someone at Pyra has had to go through that, and you can call them, right? And you can call them and say, oh my God, I'm going through this. And that way they keep strict confidentiality. You don't have to talk about names, but you can talk about what you're experiencing. What are the challenges? And they'll tell you what they did that went well and what they did that didn't go well, so you can avoid that. This is where one of our volunteers leader calls her Pyra friends her HR Fab Five. So build that. Your organization should be encouraging you to build your network outside of your HR department, because that's how you broaden your knowledge of HR, and that's how you gauge best practices in HR as well as the professional development. You're going to be looked at as an HR expert because you're attending the professional development. So really position yourself as that. We also have the Pyra Workplace. That it's a compliance center. Plus you get Pyra Live, which is a telephone-based consultant service. You can call an unlimited amount of times asking any type of HR question. They're not attorneys, but they can help you look for laws that will affect how you are doing your business and educate you in terms of what you might be at risk about, and so that you could change that. This is a great benefit. If you haven't been to the Pyra Workplace or you're having trouble logging in, call Elisette, email me, email us all, and we'll get you on there pretty quickly. I see a lot of chats. Should I stop for a second?
Yep.
Okay, what's in the chat? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, there's one question I see. Will we receive a copy of the slides presented?
Yes. I think I'm going to send it out to you this afternoon because Elisette is got some other things she's going to handle. So within an hour, I promise you, I'm going to get you this deck. So don't worry about that. And probably a lot of links to different resources so you can spend your time. And then you'll get my email address. So you could always email me back, say, hey, let's set up a time to talk because I have some more specific questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we've been getting just comments that it's wonderful. They love the membership benefits.
Ooh, I love to hear that. Great. Okay, I'm going to spotlight this one other benefit. I think two more benefits, and then I want to get into HR certification. So how much time I have? I have a little time. All right, I've been going fast, you guys.
Moving it.
Maybe I need to slow down. Slow down a second. All right. So I want to spotlight this benefit for all of you folks who are kind of reevaluating your position. This year hasn't been the best year for HR. It's been a tough year for HR. So we work with Into, Your Next Step platform. This is only available through corporations usually, but we have a special partnership, and it's basically a career transition platform. It's one of the #1 career transition platforms, and I love it because you can do anything from do a workshop on how to revise your resume, how to build your elevator pitch. You could even videotape yourself answering interview questions so you could see how concise that you are, what nonverbals that you're giving off. I know I need to do that because that's someone's first impression of you. So practice interviewing. If that's what you're doing right now, is really looking for that next best job opportunity. Also, you could research organizations on here. And so all Pyra members get a free 6-month license to this. And this slide tells you how to sign up for that license. I've talked a lot about volunteering. Any questions about volunteering, let me know. But I was a Reardon Fellow at the Graduate School of Management at UCLA. And that's where I learned that volunteering is the best way to hone your leadership skills. It's also the best way to find a position. There's data out there with the Bureau of Labor that says that 70 to 80% of the people who get their job get it through their network. And so when you're volunteering at our 21 communities or on our board, that's where people are going to see your work ethic, like I said, the quality of your work, that you really want to improve yourself. Even your own supervisor will be impressed that you're volunteering outside your community. So I just want to put this out here. Networking, for me, it's not just about going to an event and shaking hands and getting a bunch of business cards. You really have to take the next step. You have to ask for informational interviews. You have to invite people to coffee. Michael, I don't know if you have anything more to add, but I think it's this is a low risk place for you to try your volunteer leadership chops, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, I just want to emphasize on the one big piece that you mentioned on that. Okay. It allows you an opportunity to be, if you're looking to move up in your career, if you're looking to make those advances within your career, within your field, especially with your field of professionals that are there, this is a good opportunity to cut your chops on that and to meet those individuals and speak to those individuals based upon your volunteer level within the organization, because they're going to be watching you, and you can have that opportunity to move up within your organization, or frankly, their organization. Okay. So, you know, this is a big picture opportunity for you, you know, if you're looking to make those changes within your career.
Absolutely. So I think we talked about volunteering a lot. So a lot of you asked about conferences and webinars and education. So here's a summary of all the different learning opportunities that we provide: virtual learning, monthly PIHRA chapter meetings, which, like we said, under normal circumstances are monthly. They'll probably shift in the future, but they still are doing Zoom meetings and webinars. We have the PIHRA employment law update that's coming up, and I'm really excited about it. It's virtual and in person, and I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. And it's so affordable. I see other legal updates that are only for like 2 or 3 hours and not even as dynamic of topics as that we provide, that are double the price. So anyway, I'll get there in a second. The California HR conference, if you've gone in person, I have to stand on my feet for probably 12 hours a day, and it's the highlight of my year. Now we're doing it virtual. We have 80 learning sessions. We even had pet adoptions one year. It's just fantastic. We have career coaches attend. And again, it's like 2/3 of the price of other comparable HR associations, not HR associations, HR conferences. So we're the biggest in the West. I'm impressed by us. We also have specialty programs, HR Department of One, that's coming up actually this fall. We have HR Talent and Tech, Strategic Leader, and PIHRA Real HR. So those are the ones that are as an association we host, but again, our chapters host their own. Some of them, I think in Coachella Valley, you did a 2 to 3 hour legal update one time. And so our chapters also host different sorts of professional development. I'm gonna pause because I see something in the chat. Okay, yeah, all right. Yes, this is recorded and it'll be on our YouTube channel. Members get special rates on most of our events, so at least $15 off on the monthly meetings. That's a little different now with the virtual, but members get a discounted rate. Community chats, please sign up for them, go to the calendar. I wanted to get here. So a larger number of you had questions about HR certification. I don't know exactly what the question is, but I'll tell you this. PIHRA offers prep courses for you to take the HR certification exam. We are not a certification institute. There's right now 2 main certification institutes. One is HRCI, and we're going to send you a link with this deck to them. So if you're interested in certification, check them out. They have a matrix to let you know, help you decide which certification is best for you, because they do have multiples. If you have any specific questions, I may have a couple minutes. I don't, but let's set up a time and I'll try to answer any specific questions you have. We also have SHRM certification, and you can Google that. They also have a matrix on helping you identify what certification would be best for you. For me, because I have an organizational development background, I did some strategic planning, management training, organizational assessment, corporate culture work. I chose the senior certification because that is more focused on HR strategy and how it connects with organizational strategy. At SHRM CP, And the equivalent on the HRCI side is a PHR. That's more for the generalists and people that are really focused on compliance and just the day-to-day HR stuff. So depending on where you are in your career, you may want to do the PHR or SHRM CP, or if you're at the more senior organizational development area or want to grow into the area, you'll do the SPHR or the SHRM SCP. There's also one other one that I want to mention. It's called the PHR California. I actually did the prep course on that, and I have the study materials. That is the certification where you will show mastery over California law. And we all know that California employment law is the strictest in the country. So
and
if
changes
you know,
constantly.
And ooh, yeah, you got to go to the, don't let me forget that point, because now I'm going to go over. But so if you're interested, and I think that's going to make you one of the most marketable HR professionals in California with this PHR California. Just overall, depending on where you are and what certification, you can increase your salary to up to $20,000 with that certification. When I got certified, my boss was like, you know what? You deserve a raise. I even got a raise because I could talk to you more about it. I believe in certification. I believe in education. So, and we have one of the best certification prep instructors around, Richard Dawson. I love him. You know, I'm not for everybody. Richard Dawson might not be for everybody, but he's going to tell you the truth. And that is, you got to read, you got to study. And especially if you're not a great test taker. I'm not a great test taker, you know, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I have to share with you on HR certification. If you have any other questions, let's set up a time to talk. So California employment law update. This is so important because exactly what Michael said. The laws here in terms of COVID-19 are changing. The OSHA regulations, oh my God, I get a headache. That's why I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for the PHR California exam. It's wild. We have Eric DeWams and Tara Fournier, our board. They developed this one presentation. They're going to be at CELU. What is it? Navigating employment law midair. It's like you're on a flight and you're, changing courses constantly. So that's kind of what they're talking about. The employment law changes that have been changing so rapidly and still to this day are changing. And they're going to talk about it from the HR professional perspective and the employment law perspective. So it's a real practical session, and we're building out the sessions as we go. Streaming, it's going to be October 28th. Streaming, it's $99. You can include a membership for only $100 when you bundle it. So that's a great, great deal. We're also in person in actually Hyatt Regency Orange County is in Garden Grove. So if you want to do an in-person event, I think I'm going to be there. At least Sept might be there too, but behind the scenes. We are following COVID restrictions because we are all very careful about it. So, and we're all foodies, so I'm sure we'll have some good little munchies there as well. But if you're interested, let us know. All of the employment law that will be discussed, we'll consider all of the legislation that's happening in September. So you get real-time law updates at this October 28th event. So I talked a lot about seminars and conferences. There's something in the chat. Should I pay attention to that? Anything? Awesome. All right. All right. We have online learning system. So we have all of our seminars, conferences, webinars are on demand. If you're a member, some of those are free, or some are not, depending on what it is. But this slide gives you more information on that. Join us, join us, join us. Set a goal for yourself. If you haven't attended a webinar or a chat, we have at least these coming up in the next month. I think to this morning, North OC had a chat free for members talking about the convergence of health and wealth. Michael, I don't know if you saw that one. Los Angeles, I talked about their summer mixer. Government affairs. We have a great government affairs team. If you're interested in volunteering for them, they have Senator Tom Umberg speaking in a chat coming up on the 23rd. And so please set a goal for yourself to attend at least one webinar, one event, once a quarter. It doesn't have to be with Pyra. You know, call your old boss, invite a friend somewhere. Right now, what we learned from this pandemic is that we cannot stay isolated. We have to get out there. We have to take care of ourselves, and taking care of ourselves means having a community that we can connect with in person, or at least even over the phone. So connect. You can connect. I'm going to connect with all of you. I got all your LinkedIn. So I'm going to connect with you there. Connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Call me, text me. No, don't text me. Call me on this direct line. Email me. Are there any other last words of advice, Michael? Or I know I'm 3 minutes over, but
oh gosh, no pressure on the end here. Okay, so here it comes. I mean, look, if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So ask the questions, come to the meetings. You see all of the education that's available to you, and it's free. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's kind of where I put it there. And wait a minute, did somebody mention a $20,000 raise out there just for getting their certifications? I mean, if 20K isn't enough for everybody here, I don't know what is. I don't know what to tell you at that particular point in time. Just saying.
Yeah, keep up your learning, everybody. Stay connected. We're here. We have a great community. It's warm, it's fun, and it's professional. We keep it classy. But thank you for joining us during your lunchtime. Feel free to reach out, and I will email you within an hour with this deck. So
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Michael, for your time.
Thank you,
Elisa.
Thank you for being the guest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.